welcome to Cumberland Conversations. I'm Sally Shutt, Cumberland County's Public Information Director. This month's conversation focuses on Cumberland County's Community Development Department. Our guests are Community Development Director Sylvia McLean and Dee Taylor, the Community Services Manager. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sylvia, tell us about community development, your mission, and what you're doing out in the community.
Currently, in community development, we are in the process of completing our action plan for this current year, for the upcoming year, and our mission is to provide quality housing to individuals, low and moderate income families, and to also to provide economic development opportunities to small businesses. We also are in the process of looking at our upcoming 5-year consolidated plan. So our mission is to provide affordable housing, decent, safe, affordable housing to families in Cumberland County.
Okay, and so tell us about what jurisdictions that covers.
The jurisdictions that we cover here in Cumberland County includes the incorporated areas, of course, and the towns Eastover, Stedman, Hope Mills, Linden, Spring Lake, I think I said Linden, and Falcon, and Eastover, and Godwin.
Yeah. So the city of Fayetteville has its separate community development?
Yes, that is correct. The city of Fayetteville is also an entitlement community to where they serve the citizens that live within the city limits of Fayetteville.
And then you ladies have everything else, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So Dee, tell us where the office is located and how people can find you guys.
Sure. We just moved to our new location actually about over a year ago, and we're located at 707 Executive Place in Fayetteville. It's right next to the former Cumberland County Mental Health Building, and you will find that Executive Place right off of Rayford Road alongside the Harris Teeter grocer.
And how many employees are in the department?
Currently we have 10 employees, which consist of the department director and myself, as well as the administrative assistant, 2 housing rehab specialists, administrative coordinator that handles the loans, and we have 4 path workers.
Okay. Well, Sylvia, let's talk money. So how large is the budget? And explain to the viewers your funding sources.
Okay. Currently, our budget consists of $4.2 million, which is included as current year funding and prior year funding dealing with the federal dollars that we receive. Those federal dollars consist of CDBG funds, which is Community Development Block Grant Funds, Home Investment Partnership Funds, and we also, as a part of that $4.2 million, we also receive ESG funds, which is Emergency Solution Grant Funds, which comes directly from the state through DHHS, which is Department of Human and Health Services. In addition to those funds, we receive PATH funds, which is also a part of the state funding through DHHS.
Well, such a large chunk of that comes from the block grant. So can you explain a little bit, more in detail about the community development block grants?
The Community Development Block Grant Program was enacted in 1974, and through that program was developed in order to provide housing to individuals, to provide economic development to communities that may look at providing additional job training to individuals. The Community Development Block Grant was also designated to be able to improve the communities through infrastructure programs, and those are the kind of programs that we actually administer here in Cumberland County. Community Development is considered as the grant administrator for Cumberland County, since Cumberland County is an entitlement community. So Community Development is the grant administrator of those funds. And each year, as I indicated earlier, we go through our annual action plan. We prepare our annual action plan to determine how we're going to spend those funds in our community. And our goal is to provide better housing, safe and decent housing to low and moderate income families throughout the community, in addition to dealing with infrastructure, improving the infrastructure in Cumberland County through sanitary sewer projects and water projects.
Okay. And then the home investment partnership programs, how are those different from the block grant programs?
The Home Investment Partnership Program, that program was enacted in 1990, and through that program it was designed primarily to provide affordable housing, which meant developing affordable housing. And so with that particular program, we assist developers in actually building and some acquisition, and we can do rehabilitation for affordable housing through our home program.
Well, Sylvia's mentioned about the strategic planning that you're doing, so tell us a little bit about that process that you go through.
Sure. Every 5 years, community development prepares a strategic plan which covers a 5-year period, and what this plan outlines is the needs and objectives of community development during that 5-year period. But we first begin by analyzing data that is gathered from the community. First, we determine what the needs are from that data. The data is gathered through various methods. One of the methods that we use is a survey that we send out through the community and gather input from the residents of Cumberland County. We also consult with various agencies and providers, and we look at the census data, and we review a housing market analysis to determine what the needs are in Cumberland County. Once we gather all that data, then we are able to determine what the priority needs are for Cumberland County. And from that data, we're able to look at the data within the areas of housing, special populations, homelessness, and community development. From that point, we're able to develop the strategic plan outlining the priority needs, and the top 5 priority needs that community development has determined for our community is affordable housing, followed by employment services and job training, human services, specifically health care and homelessness, and also services for the disabled and water and sewer improvements. And we're currently in our 4th year of planning, so we will be, like Sylvia mentioned, preparing another consolidated plan this fall for the next 5 years.
So then you'll start having those surveys out there to the citizens, and so we really want our viewers to know that when we send in and release that information, to please take a few moments and give us that feedback.
Yes, because this plan, this is where we determine what activities and projects we will undertake during that 5-year period, and that is determined from the input, the feedback that we get from the community. Yes.
Now, you also do community meetings. Is that part of also gathering the feedback for the strategic plan?
Yes, we hold several meetings throughout the year, mostly in the fall or spring, and we try to accommodate our residents. Most of the time we have it during the evenings. However, we are able to schedule it during the day and meet with certain groups as well, but we'll accommodate our residents to ensure that we can get some good data.
And so the number 1 priority is affordable housing for our community. Yes. Okay. And again, give us those in order. Affordable housing?
It's affordable housing, followed by employment services and job training, human services, especially the health care and homeless components, services for the disabled, and water and sewer improvements.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask Sylvia then to kind of give us a little further at how community development then is working on those priority needs. And so if you can, let's talk about housing programs that you're offering. now?
Okay. Yes, through our community development program and our home affordable housing program, we have several housing programs that we offer to homeowners, to investors, and to developers. The first one is our owner-occupied rehab program, which is also called housing rehabilitation. That program is designed in order to assist individuals who own their own home, and we will provide funds to renovate those properties. And in that, for the housing rehab program, owner-occupied, we will look at the income of the family because they first also have to fit the meet the HUD guidelines for income, and also the property has to qualify for our program, which means it has to be within our jurisdiction. So with our housing owner-occupied rehab program, we are able to provide funds to individuals that own their property. We also have our investor rehab program, which that program is designed and was developed to assist developers in purchasing and or renovating, or rehab as we call it, properties that they will be able to rent to low moderate income families. And that is one of the main criteria for our investor rehab program, is that they will be required to rent to a low income family for a minimum of 3 years. And that particular program is a loan program. So therefore we will loan the funds to the investor either at a 3 or 5% low interest rate for a 15 or 30-year term. And with our next type program is called our emergency repair housing program. And that program is primarily designated to assist individuals who own their home, and it has been determined that there is an emergency, an immediate threat to health or safety to that homeowner in order to apply for our funds. And that particular program, it is a grant because the amount is a very minimal amount because it is designated to only address the emergency. So we are able to provide funds to homeowners for our emergency rehab program. Our other programs are more geared toward the home program, which is the Affordable Housing Development Program. That program, as indicated earlier, is designated to developers to assist them in developing affordable housing to low-income families. And with that program, we also can provide homeowner assistance, and that type of assistance is considered as down payment assistance, to where we can actually provide funds to a homeowner who qualify for a mortgage, because they will be required to go to a participating lender in the area in order to obtain their first mortgage, and we can come in to basically fill that gap to where if they don't have enough for down payment assistance, we can provide them the funds in order to make that down payment assistance and then become homeowners, which is again one of our primary focus, our primary goals, to provide homeownership, affordable homeownership to individuals in Cumberland County.
Okay. And Sylvia, so how many individuals are you able to help, say, through the different programs?
On an average, a yearly average, our housing rehab program is our major, I should say, program. And we generally can do at least a minimum of our 15 to 20 units, and that stays in line with our action plan. For our home buyer program, we generally would like to try to get at least 1 or 2, but due to the downturn in the economy lately, that has been a little difficult. But we're looking forward to the upcoming year, to where, since the homeownership is coming back strong in Cumberland County too, that we will be able to provide homeowner assistance to individuals. And our emergency program, of course, we do get a lot of calls of homeowners, and particularly the elderly, that are looking for assistance due to not having the resources to fix up their home, and where they may no longer have heat. Our emergency rehab program is designed to where if they own that property, then we can, and it's within our jurisdiction, we can come in and help and provide them with heat. And the same for roof. We have a lot that where they've not been able to make repairs and they need roof repair.
And how are most families or individuals referred to your program? Do they self-refer? Are they referred through social services? How do they find out about this resource?
It's amazing. A lot of the people actually find out about our program word of mouth and through the neighborhoods. We get several calls, and I've even spoken with several individuals. They have heard or they've gone by and they saw a sign in the yard, community development, and they've called us and they're interested in how can I get my house fixed.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Then we go through the process of explaining and making sure, because we get some calls from individuals that actually live within the city limits, so then we refer them to the City of Fayetteville's Community Development Department.
Well, this is some wonderful information, and we're going to take just a break here, and when we come back we'll look at those other priority needs. We hope that you'll join us in just a few moments as we continue our look at Cumberland County community development. Welcome back as we continue our look at Cumberland County community development. Our guests are Sylvia McLean and Dee Taylor with Community Development. Ladies, we were talking about the priority areas and your strategic goals for the year. So Dee, tell us about those human services and how your department's working with the homeless.
Sure. Human services, especially dealing with the homeless population, is third priority on our list. And that is because, keep in mind that during the comp plan process, this was during 2009 when the economy was not stable and we were still going through a little bit of a housing crisis, and many people were unemployed, and there were a lack of affordable housing. Some were, of course, homeless as well. So it's no surprise that homelessness will be a third priority on our list. So that's the reason why community development is so heavily involved with the continuum of care on homelessness, which consists of a coalition of agencies and individuals whose mission is to reduce or end homelessness. Now, of course, there is no easy solution to ending homelessness, and that is why the Continuum of Care, or COC, has planned to and has as its mission to come up with various resources and to address housing and services in our community. And one of the ways to that the COC has come up to determine to address those needs is to select a lead agency that would be able to act as a administrator of COC and other competitive grant funds to address the homelessness in our community. Community Development, as the lead agency, applies for the COC Homeless Program Grant, which is funded through HUD. This is done on an annual basis. There are 7 housing programs that are funded in our community through the COC program. That includes 3 permanent housing programs and 4 transitional housing programs. Out of those housing programs, there are 2 that community development actually administers. That includes the Safe Homes Permanent Housing Program, which which actually is a partnership with the Cumberland County Drug Treatment Court and Cumberland Interfaith Hospitality Network. Cumberland Interfaith provides 5 units to individuals who are referred through the drug treatment courts. and these individuals are provided with housing that the grant pays for their leasing, and Cumberland Interfaith provides them with case management services to help them access medical and dental services, food, employment services. And with the Robbins Meadow Transitional Housing Program, we actually subcontract with the Fayetteville Metropolitan Housing Authority to help manage that program. This program is, we help homeless families transition from a temporary housing situation into permanent housing. So the families that are enrolled in this program, they are allowed to stay in this program for up to 24 months. And while they're in this program, they receive case management services as well to help them with employment, accessing educational services, and other basic needs. And also, another main thing that we try to ensure is that they increase their income so that they are ready to become self-sufficient once they are once they transition to a permanent housing setting.
Okay. Now, there's also the PATH program where
Yes.
your staff is actually going out
Mhm.
and meeting the homeless and helping identify those with mental health needs. Just briefly tell us about that.
Sure. The PATH program, which stands for Projects for Assistance to Transition from transition from homelessness. The PATH program consists of 4 team members. That includes 2 social workers and a peer support specialist, which is involved in helping individuals access housing, and the PATH team also provides case management services. There's also a benefits specialist which helps the enrollees obtain Social Security disability benefits. The peer support specialist is not only involved in providing housing and services, but the peer support specialist actually goes out into the community, into the street, under the bridges, in abandoned houses or buildings, to engage with the homeless population to provide them with the basic needs. And also another program that community development also is involved in is the Emergency Solutions Grant Program. This is a competitive grant that is also funded through HUD, but we receive it through the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. Through this program, we subcontract with 3 other agencies that will provide rapid rehousing and homeless prevention assistance and shelter services. And through the rapid rehousing and homeless assistance components, participants are able to receive rental assistance and utility assistance.
Okay. Well, Sylvia, so we've talked about the human services. Let's talk about the public services briefly. Tell us some of the public services projects.
Yes, we have, through our CDBG funding, we also provide funding to agencies that addresses health care services, the homeless assistance, as Dee had previously mentioned, and also job training. With our funding, we actually partner with agencies here in Cumberland County that actually provide those type services, such as Cumberland, well, we call it CCMAT, which is Cumberland County Medication Assistance Program, which is actually being administered at Cape Fear Valley. We also provide funding to Better Help, in addition to coordinating counsel on older adults. So over the years, we've provided funding to several organizations, Salvation Army, for them providing services either for health care or to assist the homelessness and job training.
Okay.
Currently, we've got another one that's actually dealing with job training, which is Gospel Services.
Okay. And now, Dee, infrastructure. What are some infrastructure projects that are going on?
Well, since water and sewer is fifth on our list of priority needs. We currently have a project that is actually almost completed with the town of Spring Lake. They are constructing a sewer line along the Chapel Hill portion of the Chapel Hill Road near Highway 210, which is in a low mod area. Okay. And we've really have done quite a bit of water and sewer projects throughout the community, and that is because our service area do consist of rural areas where they do not have access to public water and sewer. Okay. So.
Well, Fair Housing Month has just ended in April, and so Sylvia, tell me just briefly about fair housing and your work in that area.
Yes, with Fair Housing, we actually have someone on staff that actually is responsible for handling the outreach and to ensure that individuals are aware of their rights for fair housing, and to ensure that individuals, they understand that what the law basically states. So he is very active in doing that, and for our department, and he's also working closely with the City of Fayetteville Human Relations Department, to where we are actually in partnership with the city in order to make fair housing awareness available to all citizens of Cumberland County. And in addition to the fair housing, other things that we do in community development is economic development, to where we actually provide loans and some grants to individuals and to businesses to bring forth job training and actually employment for various various places in Cumberland County. A few of the projects we've done, of course, is the AIT building. We provided funding for that. Also with the IHOP in Spring Lake, we provided funding for that, which as if you go through the area, you will see that is a very, very busy business. And we've had the military business park. We provided funding for that. So we've had various things in economic development. In addition to small businesses, startup, one that I can remember right offhand, the Happy Hounds, which is basically a small business that we provided funding for, and it is very, very successful.
And the county also partnered on the Hope 6 project?
Yes, that is correct. And the Hope 6 project, actually we use home funds for the infrastructure aspect of that project.
Okay, well, so where can our citizens go? It's about time to wrap up. Where can our citizens go for more information?
Well, they could go on the county website and click on the departments, and they'll find community development. Or they can, again, come by our office. We're open from 8 to 5. Our office is located at 707 Executive Place. And if they want, they could call us by phone at area code 910-323-6112 for more information.
Thank you so much. This was a great information. Our time is up for now, and I want to thank you for joining us for our look at community development. We hope you will join us for future Cumberland Conversations. You can learn more about what's happening in Cumberland County government by visiting our website or Facebook page. We also hope you will consider enrolling in our Citizens Academy, which we offer twice each year.